Hey guys, this is Comic Uno and Comic Frontline, and this is the first movie review on Comic Frontline. And usually I do movie reviews on my channel, but today I'm doing a couple of movie reviews on Comic Frontline. I'm seeing two movies this weekend. Today I saw Vampire Academy, and tomorrow I'll be seeing Lego Movie. So Vampire Academy will be obviously on this channel, and Lego Movie is going to be on Comic Uno, so definitely go check that out. But let's talk about Vampire Academy, which is a movie that usually I would go see. It's a type of movie I would go see, but not totally, super excited for. But I do have a couple of friends that read the book, and they want to go see the movie, and I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go see Vampire Academy. So we plan to see the movie, and again, this is a perspective of someone that's never read the books. So this movie's about this girl. I'm pretty sure her name is not Zoe. Rose. Her name's Rose. I think the actress's name is Zoe. Her name's Rose, and she is the protector of this royal vampire. And there's a couple of royal vampires around, but she's protector of her best friend, who's a royal vampire, played by Lucy Fry from Make O Mermaids, and other Jonathan Stiff stuff. Yeah. So we also get to see her, I guess her American debuts. I don't think she's been in any other American projects. But anyways, we get to see that she's protector of Lucy Fry's character. And she has this sort of connection with her that she could see what she's seeing, she could feel what she's feeling, but only because Lucy Fry's character saved her life, and she's been shadow kissed. And that gets explained in the movie exactly what that means. So we get to see them at Vampire Academy. They didn't want to be there, but they were living a normal life for a little while. And Vampire Academy people said, you have to come back. They come back. Some madness happens because there's these evil vampires, so that's kind of a myth that's going on in the story. So the evil vampires weren't as important. I guess that's more for the second movie set up. There's obviously romance. We get to see some maybe love triangle with this nerdier guy who likes Rose, but then also the macho guy, this Russian guy that obviously is the ship for the movie. So that's Rose's ship, and then there's this other guy who has the parents of two evil vampires, and he's a good guy. He seems a little mysterious, a little weird. Rose doesn't like him at first, but we grow to like this character in the movie. So in the end, there's a big fight. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil this movie, but there's a big fight with someone you wouldn't expect. And that's really the villain of the story. And they're staying in Vampire Academy, and that's pretty much it. So as a person that's never read the books, I thought this was a fun movie, but didn't really have a lot of depth to it. I would say the story structure definitely needed some work. The true villain of the story, again, I'm not going to spoil it because it kind of is surprising, I guess, but I kind of saw it coming. And the second surprising villain, I definitely saw it coming after something happens in this movie. Something's given. I knew this was going to happen. So if you saw the movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. So it's a little predictable, the villain, and I feel like the villain arc, which most of these movies need, was not set up right at all. And it seems like it referenced a lot of stuff from the books, but it doesn't really build on it. So they'll reference scratches on these people's arms, a rock falling from the sky. They reference a lot of things, but I don't think they did enough for non-book readers to really understand what's totally going on and to really put two and two together. Again, I think there are characters that are really underdeveloped that should have been more developed. The main villain, really underdeveloped and kind of came out of nowhere. The structure of the story, you didn't really know what they were chasing. They were there, there's evil vampires, but you didn't really know what their purpose was. And I thought that was a problem with this movie, is that, what are they striving for? You knew that, these characters had a relationship, and they've had troubles, but what is their true goal? And I felt like there really wasn't one. Our Lucy Fry's character, she needs to figure out what magic she's gonna be, and she picks one in the end. I guess that's a goal, but usually there's some villain goal. They have to get something in these type of movies, and there wasn't. It was them going high school and having some bratty stuff going on. And then I'm gonna say the one from Blue Bloods. She has shorter hair. She's the villain-ish girl, mean girl. She was very random at times. Not the actress's fault. I think it was just the way the character was written for this movie, because I heard in the books it's a little bit better. It seems like in the books they explain a lot of these characters more and develop them more, but in the movie it didn't really quite show that. I would say that the characters that were developed, because again, I'm just getting the bad out of the way, because there are some really good things about this movie too, but the characters that were developed to, I guess, you know, to like them enough was the redhead kid that kind of liked Rose. I think he was pretty developed and like, oh cool, I actually want him to get the girl. Then the Russian guy was okay. I think he was a good love interest. He was okay. And then his monologue wasn't so great because I didn't really feel for the monologue when he was talking. So maybe because I was like behind, we were like in the back of the theater. Maybe it's just the audio, but I couldn't really hear him that clearly. So that's one complaint I had about him. The other love interest I didn't really quite like. I thought he was okay. There was nothing lovable about him, and I think with these type of movies you have to like the ship, and I don't think they really made us love this guy and made him feel bad for him in any way. He was just kind of there, and you knew he was the romantic I guess a romantic tension that we have with Lucy Fry's character, but nothing really else there. But I think the strongest part of this movie that kind of made this movie for me was our main character, actually, Rose, and I want to say the actress's name is Zoe something, but I thought she did a really, really good job, and really helped this movie for me, and that's why I actually did enjoy a lot of the parts, because the dialogue was fun, it was fresh. You gotta go into this knowing this is gonna be kind of campy. You're not going to go into this thinking this is honestly going to be Hunger Games, because that is another young adult novel that's a little deeper, has more themes, or at least, again, the first Vampire Academy book is a little campy. At least that's what I've heard also, and yeah, that's shown on screen too. And I just don't, you know, what I've heard about the book, I don't know if they adapted the book so well to the screen. But yeah, so you get a little campiness, which you could accept. Dialogue's a little campy, and there's fun parts in that. But yeah, going back to it, I think the main character was really fun. You really felt for the character. You really rooted for her from, I think, her first line, honestly. And that was definitely the actress's great portrayal of the character. So that's one thing I really enjoyed. And I think if you go into this movie really liking the main character, which is obviously one of the most important things of a film, you'll enjoy this. But do I think you should watch it in theaters? I think you can skip in theaters and maybe like wait for Netflix. I think that's the best way to say it. Unless you have friends that like the book and, you know, have friends that maybe are into this type of world, then go see it with them. And I had a fun time seeing it with people that read the book, but if I just went with random friends that didn't read the book, I probably would have given this less of a grade. But since I did see it with people that are passionate about it, I felt a little bit more passionate about the film also. So I'm going to give it a generous 3.5 stars. I say Netflix it one day if you're bored. That's really my recommendation. I don't think you should rush to theaters to see this movie. And I don't think it was the greatest adaptation for a book. And it was okay. I hope it does well in the box office. See a second movie. I would go see the sequel. In my opinion, it's like that type of movie. And I think the main character was definitely the best part of the movie, which is great thing, but then there's a lot of weak parts, and it's mostly the storyline, in my opinion. But please tell me in the comments below what you thought about Vampire Academy, and please tell me if you read the books, if you liked it, your rating if you want in the comments. And this is Comic Frontline. Of course, we'll have more movie reviews on Comic Frontline from all of us, and on my channel also we'll have more movie reviews. I have Lego Movie again on my channel, so please be sure to check that out. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the right situations, and don't forget to like my Facebook. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.